Good morning, traders. So how are we going to trade this Dow Jones today? Now, a couple of things. So I have a line in sand of this fractal here, which we did break, but we haven't got a close above it. So I'm not entirely convinced that we have a break higher here. Okay. What has happened though is you can see lower low, lower low, higher low. Okay. So in other words, if I do this, okay, we have a potential bottom forming here. And I say potential because it's not cast in stone just quite yet. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to point out is really our, do that and that, is that we are in a channel at the moment. Okay, now with this higher low here, my bias is that we're going to break this channel to the upside sometime. Maybe not today, possibly tomorrow, or maybe only next week. But this is a consolidation pattern, and price is not falling dramatically. It is ambling lower, but it is not falling dramatically. And obviously, as I've said, this higher low here is fairly significant. Okay, let's just get to the 1 hour. Okay, now, again, I pointed this out yesterday that the closing range breakout would have just frustrated you because you would have been stopped out twice before it actually picked a direction. And today is pretty much more of the same. Okay, we have already hit the breakout target to the upside, but if you look here, we had a breakout to the downside first, and then we moved to the upside. So, that would have I suppose didn't get a close, but it could have triggered quite a few people. So anyway, need to take cognizance of the fact that we are in this channel, and you can see the breakout target lined up at the top of the channel pretty well. Okay, so what are we looking for at the moment? So I am of the opinion that we are setting up for a break to the upside. Okay, it is rather messy, and I want to use this here as my consolidation. Okay, so there is roughly my consolidation, but it's very messy. Okay, you can see tails to the upside, tails to the bottoms, and it's just like pretty much nothing. You see these long tails here. Now this just tells me there's buyers there, buyers. They try to sell it down, buyers step back in, and they pushed it up. So there were a lot of buyers that were stepping in yesterday. Now what could be setting up here is the following: is we have had a rally. It's not a strong rally, but we've had a rally, and a break of that rally would then give us a break of this channel. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. It's to me, this is consolidating at the top of the channel for a break of the channel. That's kind of the view that I have at the moment. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a long setup. Now, here is a great example of a long setup. You can see these inside bars here. So this was a very good area to get long, but obviously I'm looking for confirmation here. So that was my first signal. We have a higher low. Now what I'm looking for is a better signal. So what am I talking about? If we look at the 4 hour here, I had an inside bar, and I've got this indecision range bar here with an engulfing bar. So this is a fairly good signal. This was another signal with confirmation. So basically what I'm looking for is a 4 hour close above 2600. If we can get a 4 hour close above 2600, that would give us a confidence that this channel is breaking to the upside. Okay, until that time, I would expect us to come back down, and you need to look for the areas where you're going to find some support. And this is the most logical spot, which is 25,900. Okay, so 25,900, if we do fall that far, would see me looking at getting in long. Okay, Now you can see how the awesome oscillator is really not giving you anything. Sorry, not the awesome oscillator, the alligator. Okay, awesome oscillator is giving you the turn-ins, but you can see how there's no real clear trend at the moment. We are still consolidating. And I think that's how you need to look at this, is you are consolidating, you're looking for a long entry down the bottom here, and you'll probably take profits if you touch the top of the channel. Until we break through, well, I suppose pretty much the high of this morning. Okay, so I'll just fine-tune that to 20, yeah, it's still the same. So it's 2600. We need a nice solid close, preferably a 4-hour, but even a 1-hour close above 2600 would give us a confidence that this channel is broken. So for now, I expect it to fall a little bit more, and then somewhere along the line, the buyer should step in, and where we can take a stab at a long. Okay, so that's kind of my feel of this at the moment. Now, one thing to point out on the half hour is look here where price is low, higher low, but it's lower low there. Okay, so this is a continuation diversion, so not complete yet. Price could still drop below that, and then it would be null and void. But as it stands now, where price is in relation to this pin bar, that is diversions, and it's continuation diversions of the trend that you're in. And the trend right now, the mini trend right now is up. Okay, so it's basically that. Okay, so we need to watch and see what happens on this. Another 5 minutes to go on this bar. And the other thing to point out is look at all these tails here. There are buyers sitting here, or there were buyers sitting here. So the question is, are they still here, or are they waiting lower down somewhere in this area here? Okay, so yeah, so I'm expecting this consolidation to play out, to be honest, and play out to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a long entry, and we'll have to take it based on what the European Open says to us. Okay, so areas to watch obviously is 25,900, and then also the bottom of this consolidation here, which is 25,935. Okay, so if we start breaking the downside, you're looking for an entry lower down. Okay, and as I've highlighted, the fact that we have a higher low here on the 4-hour, there was our low, higher low, fractal. Okay, and we formed another fractal to the upside, and we have broken this fractal here. Okay, so this 4-hour fractal, and there are a lot of people that when that happens, regardless of whether it's just a break of it or a close above it, there's a lot of people that trade that with a stop below this fractal here. Okay, it is a valid fractal break because we are above the red line here. Okay, so we broke that fractal above the red line. For me, it's not cast in stone because I prefer to see a close. So I prefer to see a close above that fractal and then a pullback, which gives me an opportunity to get in long. So kind of, let's call it a half-hearted signal at the moment for a long. Okay, so yep, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a reason to go long, and I'm anticipating a break of this 2600, and if we do get a break of this 2600, then you can expect this flag to play out. And if you look at it on the daily, let's get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of that. So now if you have a look at that on the daily, you'll see what I mean. There is a fairly significant opportunity for a long here. And what does it target? Let's look to the left, and you see it lines up very close. So you can pretty much put 3 lines in here. One there, so one on this tail here, one on this tail, and then one on that tail. So that is my daily target to the upside. Where does this go? straight into the middle. Okay, so that is the play that I see playing out, and the only question is, at which point do we get in? Okay, and it could be today. Alternatively, it could only work out tomorrow. It could only work out next week. But that is the play that I'm looking for, because what that will do for us, take it from a break here, is going to give us a 300, 400 odd point target. Okay, and those are the kind of trades that I really look for. Anyway, guys, so I hope that helps. So point is, we are consolidating. We've moved the upside, consolidating, and the big question is, if we break below this level of 259.35, then obviously what we're going to get is a range move to the bottom, which is still very much according to my plan, and you can see it lines up with this previous interaction here. And if we find a base there, then that is another higher low, and then what I'm looking for is a higher high to happen. Okay, we do have a bit of a higher high here, see there, but this one wasn't. Okay, so what we're looking for is just a pullback, and then buy that pullback and watch this level of 2600. Okay, if that breaks, then what you can do is just move your stop to entry and wait for the trade to play out, or the move all the way back to the upside here. Okay, so that's kind of the swing trade setup that I'm looking for at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see whether that starts to materialize today. And you can see a lot of people here got in on this already. So second, third time lucky is what we're looking for. Okay, anyway, guys, I hope that helps. And as always, keep those stops really tight and pay attention to price action today. We're looking for pin bars. We're looking for inside bars. We're looking for engulfing bars. And we're looking for double bottoms. That's the kind of pattern we're looking for today. That's going to give you the indication of that we have a bottom. And just watch for the European Open, because I do suspect we're going to have a little squirt down to the downside to start with, and then some consolidation before we start moving to the upside. Okay, so pay attention, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers for now.